Cheers.
Cheers. Me and Sam went to get Prosecco and flutes because this is not only a video, but a celebration. It's a celebration because this will be the last season of Doctor Who we're reviewing.
Ever.
And we're not ever going to talk about Doctor Who again.
Not my Doctor.
Unless we fancy it.
We're done. This will be
the last part, unless they release another season and we want to do it.
Well, that won't be in 2 years. That'll be in like years' time.
Yeah, that'll be ages. But we're also...
We're done for now, yeah.
We're done for now. Celebration. Cheers. And then we also have just released the official NitPix podcast, Bleeding on the Page.
Bleeding on the Page.
Bleeding on the Page.
Yeah, it's a podcast we've worked on for over a year now.
Yeah,
developing.
It's been a year in the making, so it's fine. It's nice to finally get it out and put it out to you guys. It's like a storytelling podcast as opposed to a podcast where we just chat about films. We write scripts in a week.
It's like half an audio drama and half discussion about the films that influence the audio drama.
So the
first episode's called Bigger Than Fish, that's science fiction, and Doctor Who did influence quite a bit. Mm-hmm. The ending is just ripped off from Nightmare in Silver. It's like the exact same end line. Yeah,
it's the same end line. There's loads of good stuff.
So if you're a Doctor Who fan,
you should check it out. Because this was the script. The first episode was also inspired a lot by Doctor Who anyway. But the NitPix crew is the faithful one. If you can leave a review and subscribe to the podcast, it helps the podcast massively. Yeah. And will really help us out. We want to
dominate the charts.
So if you guys want to give us a hand, get on our sides, that would be amazing. But we've got business now.
We've got real business now.
We got it.
This time it's personal. So season 11, Chris Chibnall comes in.
Because we made an hour and a half video on this, but we still have things to say about it.
Things to say.
I'm hoping I'm going to remember certain aspects that I enjoyed, and maybe I can highlight some better aspects about this season.
Oh no, I'm going to shit on it like all the way.
I think it's important because we've shat on it.
You'll be good
so
cop,
hardcore.
I'll be bad cop.
Yeah, because I think there are little aspects to the season that can be appreciated. But I mean, it's the first female Doctor. Mm-hmm. How were you feeling before it came out? What were you feeling about the announcements and all the stuff leading up to it?
Well, the first thing that came out was that Chris Chibnall was doing it.
Yeah.
And we were like, who's that?
Yeah.
And then we found out who he was. And our first video on Chris Chibnall is essentially us in real time responding to the new showrunner, because Chris Chibnall's episodes are really bad. Like
his early Doctor Who episodes, but you still stand by him on Torchwood.
No, I don't.
You said he was good on. You've always said he had some good Torchwood episodes.
So he wrote an episode called Fragments.
Yeah,
which is like all the Touchwoods like origin stories, and it's not like a particularly well-structured piece because it is just entirely their backstories.
Yeah.
But like if you're a huge nerd like me, you can like enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think it is pretty well written at points, but it's not like it's like a series of short stories.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, if I wasn't a Torchwood fan, I don't think I would like it that much.
Yeah.
And then he wrote an episode called Countryside, which has zero sci-fi elements to it.
Really?
And is only good because of the directing.
Oh, okay. So
it's just like a Blair Witch Project.
Well, Cyberwoman was good.
No,
she was hot. She was hot though.
That was hot. The best bit. Yeah.
She was the bit where you see her bare body.
My cyber fetish.
So season 11, I think is like in terms of like format is the most distinct of New Who as well, because Chibnall consciously decided to like return to a really heavily episodic serialized format in a way that like none of the other showrunners of New Who wanted to do.
For good reason.
Yeah. No, I agree. I do think there could have been something interesting in it, but like we'll break it down as we go into the episodes.
And then Jodie Whittaker was never really like I've never like been excited about any Doctor announcement ever.
I've always
apart from Peter Capaldi, and then I was disappointed by him.
And then I was
stupidly.
I mean, Doctor Who is so much better when you know what you're going into.
Yeah,
it's like not good if you're going in with expectations. Which is always like the thing that I guess with Doctor Who I've had is like when I've wanted a Doctor Who, it's never been that.
With this series, like it's actually made me more excited for female Doctors.
Yeah,
because now that we've seen how you don't do it, it's become clear like how you can do it.
Yeah.
And I really do think female Doctor can be really fun.
I think I think female Doctors are the way to go with Doctor Who.
Now that she is a girl, she should stay a girl for a while.
Yeah, the Doctor should be a female character. Because it's like we say in the video, but like the Doctor has always been gendered and built around masculine archetypes. So it makes a lot of sense in terms of changing it up after 60 years to change the gender and play with that. Sadly, it doesn't feel like it was played with, and that's the biggest shame of this, is that this could have been the season to really change up the format. And actually, weirdly, it goes back to like the classic Who format, which doesn't really work quite as well, and it dials back on so many of the other aspects. It's much less ambitious actually. This whole season doesn't feel like it has, in terms of narrative scope, in terms of like what it wants to achieve as a piece of TV storytelling. It doesn't feel like Moffat's awfully ambitious. Like he's insane.
He's too ambitious.
Russell. But Russell was as ambitious as Moffat with his like multi-TV series crossovers of multiple characters, 3-part episodes.
Even in the first season, like he was so keen to make everything tie together in the finale. They even have like Rose talk to Jackie about like the episode Father's Day. She's like, I saw Dad. Yeah.
It all works and carries over. Because there's so many adventures that don't feel they have any personal investment with the companions. But should we go into the episode? Let's go into
The Woman Who Fell to Earth. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
You are a 2 out of 10.
This is
not good.
This
is one of the worst ones of the season for me.
Yeah, it really has like all the issues that other episodes have in less degrees at different points. Like
it's not even got any good scenes in it.
No, there's nothing very memorable
apart from
about
the guy
it.
throwing chips. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it's such a shame that it's such a quick sequence that comes and goes. It's not even like a scene.
Even that important either.
Yeah. So the Doctor. This is where the Doctor's introduced to us and the companions are introduced to us. We covered this episode.
We
really
covered this one very lengthily. So
Sam's got a real big bone to pick with this episode that he never got to cover.
We didn't get to put this in the video, but Grace's death is probably, in terms of thematically, narratively, is probably the most important thing that happens in the entire season.
Yes.
And this is the episode where it happens, and her death is honestly boggling. And we've watched this episode about 3 times, I think.
We watched the entire series about 3 times.
Yeah, but this episode we definitely watched like a lot.
We did.
And it took me editing the video to figure this out, exactly how she dies. So what happens is the Doctor tells Grace and Graham to just like wait. Like to evacuate the area, get everyone out the way.
Yeah.
They do that, and then the tentacle monster appears like on the other on a different crane.
Yes.
To the one Ryan's on. It's a different one. For some reason, because I don't know why it does that, and then they're like, we've got to stop it.
Yes.
So then they go off to stop it, and Grace and Graham goes to Grace, are you sure you have to do this? And he's like, Ryan could be in danger. That's the main thing. Ryan could be in danger, which is why they... Then Grace starts climbing the crane that Ryan isn't on. He's on the other crane.
Yes.
Because Ryan could be in danger. Then they defeat Tim Shaw, but the tentacle thing is still operating for some reason.
Yes.
Then she falls off the crane, and then as soon as she lands, Ryan runs over to her.
And it's not even like a very long drop either, is one of the things. She doesn't fall
It's pretty
from
long. You could see it kill her, but the point is that as soon as she falls down, Ryan is there, which meant that when she was on top of the crane to save Ryan was already safe on the ground. And
he comes off from the opposing angle from her.
Yeah, exactly.
He comes off from a different
because
angle.
he was on a different crane.
Yeah.
And they had mobile, so Grace could have rang him.
He could have texted her. It's a really dumb death.
It's a really pointless death because I don't even know what the tentacle thing is trying to do on that crane.
Isn't it just trying to break the crane?
But
it
there
doesn't
for
even make
ages.
sense that it does that, really.
Yeah,
because it's just like a data monster that implants
and it's
DNA
there for
bombs.
ages, and it doesn't do any damage to the crane.
Yeah.
If it was like ripping apart the crane, and Ryan was like, That's and then Grace was coming, and then Ryan was like, no, Grace, and he saw it from a distance.
Yeah.
And then and then she stops him, and then she falls off the crane, and then Ryan's like, no.
That's all it needed.
But he's on the ground. It's like they forgot she was doing it to save Ryan.
It's like, and it does just enforce how like toned down it is, because like that is the emotional stakes that should have felt like it had. You needed Ryan screaming.
Well, I think it goes to show how like unfocused it is in terms of what it wants to be about. Because we said in the video that the Tim Shaw should be after like one of the main characters instead of that random crane guy, and I really just don't understand
why they didn't do.
And I think it's because Chibnall didn't think of it.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just like, because
it's like he got so up in his head about, and then the DNA bombs, and then he comes out of the fig, and then this, and then the crane in there, and it's like someone just needed to sit with him and be like, this is a little bit too complicated. Can we make it simpler?
Yeah. And this episode feels really unpreoccupied with establishing the Doctor in like as a character, as a personality. I mean, they do establish her as like a proactive person. She's always doing things, but actually, like she doesn't seem to have any real investment in it other than it's just what she does.
I know, yeah.
She never really they never really look at, because the first Doctor Who episode should be about either establishing the Doctor's personality and their relationships with. It's always about establishing the Doctor's personality and the relationships with the companions, or the lack of as well. Like, because Tennant's first episode, at least the first Christmas episode, what I can give it.
I just got a cool idea. But carry on.
Well, what I was gonna say is, even in the Christmas episode, which I do dislike a lot. They
focus on Rose.
They focus on Rose, and they're playing around with the fact that it's a new person.
Yeah.
And that you can't necessarily trust this Doctor. They're playing on the fact that he's unhinged. So when he wakes up, it's a play on that. And when he's doing technobabble, you don't really know what side he's on, or what sort of ball he's playing with, and he's killing people. So you've got this slightly, like, it establishes the Doctor.
And even Capaldi
in some way.
is doing
and
that
Capaldi
as well.
has Capaldi even more so.
It makes so much sense to play with that.
Yeah, or with a new Doctor, it's always about establishing them as nice people. I find, because 11th Hour is like that, making Matt Smith really likable and caring, but also kind of erratic and unreliable in other ways. And establishing Eccleston as well. He's this mystery man who's followed by death for a lot of it, but sort of by the end you like him, and he's supportive of Rose, and that's really solid.
Because I mean, the Doctor's plan in this doesn't even make any sense. She just puts the DNA bombs.
What was your idea?
Oh, okay. So imagine if the episode started with Ryan and Grace and stuff, and like Graham's there, and like Yaz is Ryan's girlfriend,
right?
And they're all just like mates, and they find these pictures of Grace when she was young with the 13th Doctor, because she used to be a companion. Oh.
But then, which Doctor? This Doctor?
This one, yeah.
So this Doctor's been around.
She's been around for ages, and then it starts like that.
That would be good. An established Doctor with a history would be good.
Yeah, because the Jodie first lands like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
isn't it?
And she used to be a companion. Yeah.
Something like that.
That would just be cute.
That would be cute. Or like,
because then I think that's what Jodie needed. She needed like. She's been the Doctor for ages, actually. Yeah. I don't know.
It would have been a change.
Christopher Eccleston got. And this is what it feels like. It feels like a reboot. Whereas when Moffat took over, it was like continuation. Whereas like what it needed was a proper reboot, in sense of it didn't continue directly from the last one. It had like a bit breathing room. In terms of the lore,
to separate itself a bit. That could have been really good for it. I didn't mind an immediate. I also think like an immediate change could have worked if you just made all the characters feel plump and fun and engaging.
Who's your favourite companion in this episode?
In all the episodes, it's always the old guy.
Graham.
Graham's always the best companion.
But in this episode, what's your favourite Graham moment?
Probably when Grace dies.
That's more of a Grace moment than a Graham moment.
No, his reaction's good, though.
What's his reaction?
He's, like, sad.
What does he do, though? Do you remember?
Oh, what about the bit where he's talking to his bus driver mates?
Yeah, that is a sick Graham moment.
No, I'm not. This episode is trash. Who's your favourite companion?
Yaz.
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 Because she wants to be more than just a police officer.
Yeah. Because, monsters are more her thing. Parking disputes, nah.
She doesn't even seem that into the monsters. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know she doesn't even...
I would love it if she was really getting a huge thrill from it. You know, if she was a bit more of like a fucking...
They should have just made her a traffic warden.
Karen Gillan. Yeah, a traffic warden who goes off on...
Who wants to be a cop and they won't let her.
And then she gets like super into this monster stuff.
Yeah.
Like it gives her a proper thrill.
Yeah.
Ryan, I think, is bland. Loads of I know you've spoken about how like...
I like the
likable.
actor a lot.
I like the actor.
Yeah.
I like all the actors in this. I think all the actors are fine. Like I think actually, in terms of the casting of the core cast, it was all good. I don't think there's anything wrong with the casting. I think there's a load of issues with just the characterization of it.
Yeah.
Because the characters don't look bad, and together they actually look like an interesting.
Oh yeah,
Doctor
and it would have
Who
been
team.
so much fun if Ryan kept that YouTubing thing.
Yeah, if Ryan was a
Yeah.
weird insular vlogger,
Yeah.
that would have been fun.
No, but he's just doing vlogs while traveling with the Doctor, and it's
Yes.
getting like, and it becomes like a Sherlock thing where she's got loads of fans online.
I don't know that Sherlock bit.
No, like because in Sherlock, Watson's writing up a blog about all the episodes, and then everyone knows Sherlock because they're reading the blog. So like everyone knows the Doctor because they're watching the YouTube videos.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah.
But Woman Who Fell to Earth is 2 out of 10.
Why is it not a 1?
It's not a 1 because
It's not offensive.
It's not offensive, and it never like everything looks fine as well.
Yeah,
like,
because
in
Let's
terms of
Kill
design.
Hitler genuinely offends me.
Yes, it's insulting.
It makes my blood boil.
It's also such a waste of the era, the
Yeah.
Nazi period. Like a Doctor Who Nazi period episode could have been really sick, and they wasted
But
it.
at least it takes risks. They just didn't go well. With this one, it's just bland.
I don't know though. Yeah, I don't know if it takes risks.
Yeah, well, we rate this one's a better episode.
Yeah. This is a better episode.
Yeah. But it's still. What about her costume? What do you think of her costume?
You know, it doesn't bother me. I think it's fine.
I hate it.
I know you. You really dislike
I
it.
hate it.
I think it's better than Tennant's brown suits and Converse. And...
Yeah, it just looks a bit. It looks a bit like she's wearing like her dad's clothes. It doesn't look very like. It doesn't look like she's able to run around and be comfortable in that kind of get-up.
I don't know though. All the Doctors have looked like they don't have very good costumes for running around in. Suits aren't really like practical pieces of clothing. This actually is stretchier.
I just don't think it looks that flattering on Jodie as well.
I don't know. I think Jodie looks quite good at it. She's very leggy. I like her long legs. And her striding about. Like sleeves rolled up for action. It's a bit.
I think they should just play on her weirdness because Jodie's
to...
like a really weird, like energetic person.
Yeah, I would have liked it to be weirder. It feels like it does feel more like an outfit you could just see someone wear who would be a bit quirky. Whereas like something. Well, I guess I guess all of the Doctors were like that though. I mean,
I like it a lot better
like
without the coat.
Yes.
When she takes that coat off, it looks a lot better.
I hate how they just... Well, the moment she gets this costume on from a charity shop, suddenly she starts having loads of shit in her pockets. Like, and I'm like, you brought that at a charity shop and you haven't even been in your
where did you get the
TARDIS
glasses from?
Yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah, and also, the ending of this episode where they all teleport into space.
Yeah.
Like...
You like that at the beginning.
I like it visually.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of every episode being a cliffhanger. But why did she get them all to stand around and do it? Like,
she was like saying goodbye.
Yeah. Oh well. And also the fact she goes to the funeral really confuses me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's usually not the same day they die. It's usually a few days later.
Yeah.
So where was she sleeping? Because she hasn't got a TARDIS.
She could have been staying at Graham's and building her TARDIS teleporting thing.
Oh yeah, maybe. But I just thought it was a bit weird.
You could do that.
From a pacing perspective, it was a bit odd.
I do. But also that doesn't make sense because she still had the ripped up costume.
Yeah.
She only changed that after the funeral.
Yeah, they were like, you need new clothes. Like, she hadn't even thought about it.
So I don't think she would have... I don't think that explains it. Because it's implied that it's straight after. Yeah. Because she doesn't have a costume change.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good. 2 out of 10.
What a bland start. It's
what a bad start.
It is like slightly worse than Christmas Invasion. What a shame, really.
Yeah. You really would think that Chibnall would want to pull out all the stops.
It is like that though. First episode.
The villain sucks.
It's like
as well.
great shit. Well, yeah. No, because I guess Capaldi's isn't great. Smith's is great. Oh no, that makes sense. But then this should be great.
Yeah, this should be great.
But it's not.
Capaldi's not that shit.
No, it's mediocre.
Yeah.
It's like the first mediocre.
Oh, also, apparently we
pilot.
should watch Thin Ice. Apparently it's actually quite good.
All right, we'll rewatch Thin Ice.
We'll watch Thin Ice. I am gonna smoke.
Oh, all right. Sam's gonna smoke.
I don't endorse smoking, though.
What do you endorse? Believing. Should we go on to the next episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because this is where we'll start to cover more in more detail, because we don't cover loads of episodes in the video.
Yeah, we don't.
It's weird.
We cover Ghost Monument a bit, but
We do.
this
Ghost-
episode sucks. 2 out of 10.
Yeah. I like the opening sequence on the ships.
Yeah,
think
me
that's
too.
well done.
I was a bit
think
like,
that's
oh,
well done.
okay, maybe.
And I also like the two space travelers at the beginning as well, before you understand what they're actually doing.
Before they get like dialogue, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, before they actually get weird monologues, which feel awkwardly placed every time in these.
Yeah, I
in
like.
these episodes.
I like the set.
Set's good. The planet looks quite good, sort of. It doesn't look great, but it looks interesting. I really hate Ryan going.
Yeah, we're talking
out.
about what we like now.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What else do we like?
I like the guy in the tent. I like him. The guy who actually organises the race.
Oh yeah,
He's just a bit of a dickhead.
I like him as well.
And I like his look.
Do you like the TARDIS being called a ghost monument?
Yeah.
Yeah, more names for things.
More names for things. The
Yeah.
Ghost Monument is pretty... I think that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Ghost Monument's a pretty good name.
I like the concept of a Doctor Who episode, which is a space race.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in how that was executed. But that was a good idea. That was a fun idea. It's a shame, again, it felt like a bland interpretation of that idea.
I like the special effects when the ship crashes.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks because at this point, it's still not look. It doesn't. The first episode doesn't look quite as good, but this episode's probably the best looking one.
I agree. Yeah.
It looks really pretty, actually, at a lot of points. Oh,
The high key lighting works.
I
What?
just remembered the cloth monsters are in this one.
Oh yeah. There's yeah. Okay, so now that's everything we like about this episode.
Yeah. This is
really badly structured in terms of its plot, because it's a race, but it's just like going from A to B. So it's not really a race. And it's like they've got to travel this like dangerous planet to get to the TARDIS.
because they're all going together, so they're not racing against
Yeah.
anyone,
Yeah.
which seems like a wasted opportunity. So it's more of like a hike.
Yeah, because if it was the Doctor versus the two of them
Yes.
to get to the Ghost Monument,
Yeah.
then that would have been fun, and you wouldn't need the soldiers with the guns, and you wouldn't need the cloth monsters.
And you also wouldn't need them, and they wouldn't have to have like lengthy monologues that don't really add much.
Yeah, they could all be trying to kill the Doctor and the companions.
Yeah, and because
the
it's also
the
a shame
Doctor
that they
would-
reduced it down to 2 people.
Yeah, because the Doctor would argue that she wants to race.
yeah,
Really, if the Doctor was really in that situation.
because you'd feel like Tennant, for instance, or Smith, or even Capaldi would be like
All of them
excited
would.
about doing
all
a
of them
space
would.
race.
All of them would.
Yeah, and this doesn't even play out like a space race.
No, it's not a space race. And then they arrive, and then they all come together immediately.
Yeah,
And then they get given translators that
Yeah.
translate everything, which I think takes away some of the magic of the TARDIS.
yeah,
I know in the future they would have that,
yeah.
but I also find it a bit like because
the
I really
TARDIS-
like the idea of, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, the Doctor's gonna have to translate for them, and that seems quite
could have
fun
been
to
fun.
me.
Well, it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense that like during a space race,
Sorry about the text.
sorry, sounds really popular. And we've got a bit of a cold. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah,
What
we're
was
a
I
bit
saying?
ill.
Can you remind me of my train of thought?
You were talking about the translator things.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense that, like, during a space race, they would just have translators either. Like, most of this is in wreckage. The ship's crashing. Like, it's very convenient that it just gets implanted in you automatically. Like, that doesn't feel... It's very convenient. It feels more of a convenient solution to not have to make a language.
Yeah.
Or not have to, you know...
Yeah. And then, the characters are really bland.
Yeah, so the guy's just like a hard ass. That's the idea, and he doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah, and the woman is a hard ass, and she doesn't trust anyone.
Is it?
Yeah.
And then they trust each other. That's their arc.
That's what happens in this episode.
There's the cloth monsters who give a really weird monologue to the Doctor as well, like alluding.
It's like they're building something, but then
they don't. They don't at all. They're not
Yeah.
building up, unless they're doing something in the next season. But it doesn't feel like
No,
that,
I don't
because
think they are.
It's never touched on, and it comes on these random cloth monsters. Is the Zimshaw aliens? Do they show up?
They're referenced
to because
because
that's what
the girl's family got killed by Tim Shaw's the Stenza.
Which is so you can never really understand that or like connect.
Stenza
with that.
sounds like a 90s like arts and crafts like kit.
But the problem is
Get
like
Stenza.
if you don't see the Stenza as like a huge organization, you only see one.
Yeah.
It's hard to like actually picture them as like a military organization.
Yeah.
Really. So it's like
it's just another script that needed editing. That needed listen, where's the conflict in this? Because Ryan goes
the fun as well.
Ryan goes out to shoot the people,
God.
which doesn't make any sense
because he's dyspraxic.
Yeah, and also is really dangerous and just weird.
Yeah, and he does fine, and he completely survives, and then the Doctor EMPs all of them.
Yeah,
this is where
with the screwdriver.
Yeah, this is where the screwdriver shenanigans get really silly.
But then in the same episode, Ryan gets oh no, it's a ladder.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he can shoot a bunch of robots with insanely good precise aiming. And then he can't climb up a ladder.
And there's a scene with Ryan and Graham where they talk about Grace.
Isn't that always one scene where they just sort of touch on Grace a bit? Yeah. But again, doesn't feel like it informs the characters really, except for they just go, "Oh, I'm sad."
I was really hoping for a epic Doctor scene in this, and there isn't one.
What about the scene where she uses her karate techniques?
That's ripped off from John Pertwee, yeah. Well, not ripped off; it's a homage.
No, it's an homage, yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense.
It feels oddly. Again, this is so much more it's so much more sort of in line with classic Who. And I think that's why I think it's a bit funny that loads of people don't like this show. Is because I'm because classic Who's difficult. It's a bit slow.
Yeah.
And when you filter it through into a modern thing, there's not enough because classic Who is saved by its quaintness in a lot of ways. I love watching classic Who but it's not in the same way I like watching modern TV.
Yeah.
And it's but you see all the old sets and you see what they're doing. You're oh, you're really troping for something. I can see what they're doing. And with this, it feels more like it's just makes it lazier.
Yeah. And then
because the classic Who had to be like that because they had no money, they had very low budgets, and so stories were slower. And
I mean, I don't even know what it is in terms of its structure because it's just entirely just them walking places.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Well, walking through just a bland desert.
Yeah, where are they even how do they even know
abandoned towns and cities?
Yeah,
that could have been cool.
Where do they even know where they're going? What if they split up? There's just
no point them in the direction to the ghost.
It's over there.
I'm pretty sure it's something like that.
It's there.
I could detect it with my screwdriver.
Oh yeah, she uses a screwdriver to make the TARDIS come back.
That's right.
Which is really
Doesn't
useful.
she use her screwdriver to get an entire reading of the entire of all the ground? Everything in the ground.
I
think she does.
Yeah, she does.
She points at the ground and has an entire geometric idea of
There's no screen on it. I don't know where she.
That's always bothered me. Smith's one was a little bit more forgivable, but it was still definitely dumb.
Tennant does it sometimes.
I know. And I'm what are you looking at? That doesn't change. If they want the Doctor to get readings so bad, why don't they just give the screwdriver a screen? I don't know why they don't do that, or just some kind of symbol.
Symbol
something
to give it lights, a certain flash, or anything.
Don't just like lift it up and look at it and go like, oh. And it's really it's even
unusual energy readings
because like it's like there's not because like Smith's ones work the best because there was a bit that you just never saw, which is like the inside. You're like, I don't know what that is. It could be anything. Tennant's was really dumb. Tennant's. Smith does that with Tennant's as well. I swear.
What, with Tennant's screwdriver? Yeah. Smith doesn't have Tennant's screwdriver.
Yeah, in the 11th hour he does.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does do that. That's so weird that he does that.
It's just an illusion. It's like weird because he's using... that 11th hour is funny to watch him use a screwdriver because he's using Ted's screwdriver like he uses his screwdriver and they're really different devices, really. This is. Do you know who never uses their screwdriver like that? Capaldi. I swear down in season 10, he never looks at reading.
He's got glasses.
He's got the sonic glasses in season 2, but in season 10 he has his own screwdriver.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he doesn't check readings. No, I don't think he does.
If we're wrong, though, correct us.
Yeah,
but we don't. That's quite new.
Yeah, and so Jodie's just like, oh, we're gonna die here. I messed up.
That's right.
The TARDIS is here, and it's a cave.
And it's just a cave. The TARDIS was so underwhelming.
Just so much credit to Harry's Moving Castle for
for
defining
it
perfectly. As a cave. Yeah.
Harry's Moving Castle. We really cracked up at that. He's like, as for the TARDIS, it's a cave. Yeah, it definitely is. It's really Power Rangery as well.
Because we were like, what's wrong with it? And then he said it's a cave, and we were like,
oh yeah, it is a cave. Because like it should always. I feel like it should always have. It should always feel more technological than organic. Like even like Tennant's was really good balance because it felt like a good mix of organic with like technology. Yeah. Even Smith's had a pretty interesting organic quality.
I've never come across someone who loves it. The new TARDIS.
No, who's like blown away by it. Well, it looks a bit like cheap.
Yeah, and
it looks a bit plasticky, like a screwdriver.
The biscuit dispenser's cute, but.
That's the only time we see it.
But it's like, it's not, the TARDIS should have loads of things that do
weird shit.
Yeah,
I quite like the crystal TARDIS on it.
Yeah,
I like the color scheme. I do like the color scheme. It just feels very Power Rangery, and it's lacking levels as well. Whereas well,
that's the entire production design. It's like very Power Rangery. Because Tim Shaw looks like a Power Ranger.
Tim Shaw looks like a Power Ranger. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a bit. It does feel cartoony at points, for sure.
Just got an email.
It's so popular.
I'm so popular.
But yeah, no, the TARDIS has lost a lot of character. And it's a shame
it's got no personality
It's got very little personality.
Because I thought the TARDIS wouldn't let the Doctor in because
it was a woman.
It wouldn't recognise the Doctor anymore.
That would have been interesting.
Oh well, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Ghost Monument, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Rosa! 4 out of 10!
4 out of 10!
People are going to be annoyed we gave it 4 out of 10. It's an SGW episode.
People always get annoyed at us for everything.
Oh, guys, stop being annoyed with us. We're trying our fucking best.
Right, this is just what we think.
This is our opinion on it.
Why do you care? We don't care. We don't care. What do you think of Rosa then?
I think it's the best one in the season.
Yeah, no,
because it's got a lot of scenes that I don't mind.
Yeah, this really does have the moments where because there are moments even Ghost Monument where I'm like, if we have more of this more often, then you could actually have a good season.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rosa's has moments like that.
I think we focused on it because it is one of the best ones, but it could have been so much better.
It could have been a lot more.
It had so much potential. Yeah. I really like the production design, the way the 50s
era looks really good. Yeah. The era looks really good. Again, a pretty good looking episode. It's like Kablam just looks oddly not good to me, I always find. But other than that, this does look, it's a good looking season.
Yeah.
But just some of the monster ideas aren't that good. Speaking of monsters, well, let's talk about some of the stuff we did enjoy. Because we did
the scene where Ryan is with Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks is my favourite scene in the entire season. Because it's the only one that's got self-awareness and it's playful. And fun, and he's just enjoying time traveling.
Yeah, that's
great. The biggest issue with this episode. Not the biggest, but one of the main issues of this episode is that they don't give it the time for the companions to really enjoy being in the past. Yeah, and to be blown away.
Or just traveling,
or spellbound,
traveling anywhere. Because the first time, because Ghost Monument, they're annoyed. And then this one they're annoyed because she keeps trying to get them home, and they keep getting diverted.
Yeah.
And they keep
Whereas
getting
before,
pissed off at her.
companions are like, "Oh, could we do one more trip, please?" Like they want to travel more because they enjoy it.
They were,
Yeah. Well, and there's one line where I think Yaz yells, "Time travel is." She says, "Time travel is wicked." She says something like that, and that's
really?
it. And it's dubbed. It's a dubbed line.
Oh wow, that's a shame. We're probably going to slowly get drunk in this as well.
You
Because
should
we're
drink
drinking
with
Prosecco.
us.
Yeah, go drink for drink with us. Every time we have a drink, you have a shot. It's called the NitPix drinking game.
Yeah, she's like, "Time travel's wicked."
Yeah. I like the actor who plays Rosa. I think she's well cast.
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah, she's well cast. It would have been, again, it would be nice to have more moments with her that were like memorable.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of scenes with her that are memorable. She's less of a character and more of just like something to revolve the plot around.
Yeah, it's very like
A little bit, which is a shame. Whereas like Queen Victoria, like if we, for example, the werewolf one with Tennant, which isn't even like a superb episode.
People
but, like,
really like it.
Yeah, Queen
But
Victoria.
I quite like it.
Yeah, me too. Like, I don't think it's awful at all.
Yeah.
But Queen Victoria is like a character, and the story does sort of revolve around her, but it's not in. She's not just. It's not just about her. It's not all around her.
She lacks a degree of humanity.
Yeah.
She's very like she talks like she's in Game of Thrones.
Well, new season Game of Thrones.
New season Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh, the White Walkers. Whatever will we do? I don't know. Oh,
My father says a crow goes a long distance.
Have you ever
before...
noticed that? Watching early Game of Thrones, most of the time they're talking about like sex and shit
just
talking,
like and
they're just being mates.
Yeah.
And then by like this season,
they're
now,
really pompous.
Everyone's like really stone faced and says everything like they're about to die.
The clay pigeon can only be shot once.
Yeah.
What?
Tyrion is like the clearest with that. But this is about Doctor Who. Sorry.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of the toughest videos to get by because it's just like.
It's not good.
There's a time traveling racist Krasco. He sucks. He's awful.
Yeah.
Every scene he's in is like absolutely dreadful. His motivation doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to like change history forever because he doesn't like black people, right?
What? Yeah.
Because I know a lot of racists. I'm friends with a lot of them. I've seen racists a lot of times. You know, speaking. You know, we've got Tommy Robinson.
We do.
All sorts of racists. I don't know a single one that would be willing to go back in time and stop Rosa Parks from sitting on a bus.
Well, even if there was, which I'm sure there are plenty of racists who actually might do that.
Yeah. There's probably some deep South American racists that do want slavery to come back.
Yeah, the thing is it's just like, it would have been nice to have had like some development other than I'm a person who's killed like 6 million people.
6 billion.
Yeah, I've killed like all these people and now I can't kill people and so I'm going to destroy the world because I'm evil. I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
He just says that all the time and I'm going to do that passively by making Rosa Parks not sit on a bus. It's like, it's not that interesting. He doesn't feel very interesting.
The ethics are strange as well because Ryan does kill Krasco essentially.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's all like, "Oh, you can't kill people."
And then kills Kablam
And
guy.
then kills the Kablam guy.
And then they don't kill Tim Shaw.
Don't kill him, just put him in a stasis chamber.
Tim Shaw like nearly destroys the entire world, which is like 7 billion people.
But Krasco can be sent to the dinosaur times.
Whatever.
They should have just kept the time gun and just used it on all the villains.
When I was watching it for the first time, I was quite excited because I thought Graham was going to have to be the person who kicked Rosa Parks off the bus.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been a really interesting ending.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have to ensure that history happens. And
by being racist.
And it shows how like actually history has to play out, like, you know, how history is like unpleasant and actually for good things to happen, bad things have to happen as well. And I thought it would be a really interesting play on morality. And instead, they do essentially do that by making sure Rosa Parks gets on the bus and sits down and gets removed. But again, by making them observers and watchers as opposed to actually, because that wouldn't be hard to make Graham that thing, and that would be so much more interesting. Again, in terms of developing character and making them active protagonists in their story. and they didn't, because I think it would have been more interesting if we removed the space racist dynamic to this and just play on make it a pure historical,
or make it so Krasko is like some sort of like person who lives off energy of like manipulating time.
Yeah.
And is saying like, oh, this is one of the most important things that happens in Earth history, and that's why I'm going to stop it so I can feed off like the chaos.
Yeah.
So he's not even motivated racially.
Yeah.
Because or you do have him motivated racially, but it's like a guy from like 10 years in the future, or like 5 years from the future, or like someone from like modern times who accidentally falls through a portal.
I don't even mind a super racist, but I think it's more interesting if you make it a pure historical and they realise, like, historically, Rosa Parks doesn't get on the bus without, like, their involvement.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have been, like they suddenly, as it plays out, they're like, why isn't Rosa Parks doing this? She's meant to get on the bus, and then they're like, oh, we have to be here at this time to do this. We're a part of this.
I think just like themes are important in writing.
Yeah.
So The Woman Who Fell to Earth doesn't have any themes. The Ghost Monument doesn't have any themes. Neither of them have themes.
They're goal-based, aren't they? They're like, stop Tim Shaw.
And this episode is the first Chibnall episode
with
a theme, and it's a theme of like, you know, the impact of racism. Yeah. That's thematically what it's about.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it is like structured. You know, it feels kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
The ending feels earned. All the scenes without Krasko are actually quite good. There's one scene I really like, which is when Graham and Ryan go to the bus guy. Yeah, they go fishing and they like vaguely like piss him off. And it's quite funny.
I like seeing them fuck off racists.
Yeah.
I really like the scene where they go to the bar and then they realise everyone's quiet.
Yeah, and they get kicked out. It feels tense.
It does feel tense. And the hotel scene is tense as well.
Yeah.
I thought that tension was broken up when they were cutting to Yaz and Ryan just sitting like really chilled out.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's not. It was, you know, we still do it today.
Because it takes away tension when they're just relaxed, having a normal, open political conversation whilst the police officer searches for them.
Yeah.
Like, you're detracting from the tension of that scene that's happening in order to discuss what your episode's about, but it's so clear.
Yeah.
And
we always said this episode would be really good if at the very start Ryan gets arrested.
Yeah.
And then he meets Martin Luther King and Rosa while he's in prison.
Yeah.
And he disrupts time by being in prison. She doesn't go on the bus.
Yeah, or something like that.
And then they have to like ensure she gets on the bus because they fucked up time.
Because there's not enough like splitting up the companions in this season of Doctor Who either. Like,
and when it does it in here, it's really good.
Yes, when he goes off with Rosa on his own and Yaz is helping her. I guess they do split up the companions a fair bit, but it doesn't. I guess it just doesn't feel like there's not enough companion punishment. Is what I mean. You needed to see more companions get really fucked. Yeah. And I think making Graham the guy who gets Rosa off the bus and is racist to Rosa goes against so much of his like nature would be so. Like so much is way more compelling.
We have talked quite a lot about this one as well. So,
but I actually think I would say it's like worth. Watch out of the new season.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the. It's probably the best one to start with.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very good. And I guess you can get the best you can get of the 13th Doctor with her with Krasko.
Oh, those scenes play out so blandly because they're.
But that is what the 13th Doctor is in this season. Yeah,
they're always standing parallel to each other and just like talking, and it's really odd.
I really like it when they get Jodie to do like flips and shit. When they get her to be really like
active,
acrobatic. I really like that because there's one time when she does this like flip to take the gun.
Have you ever thought that it's a bit odd that? Or it's a bit weird, you know, if you want to try and think of the overall canon, you know, Capaldi regenerating into an older man, becoming Capaldi, was him embracing like his age and his identity. It was actually like a character development for him to regenerate into an older man, which is why it feels slightly odd that he's regenerated into like a young person.
Yeah.
Now, again, it's like
a young woman.
Because well, the gender is just the age switch that I think is like. It doesn't bother me that much. It's not that deep.
They usually just do a regeneration and that's it. It's just Moffat has to make everything tie in because he's a fat nerd
who does too much coke.
This is one of the most forgettable ones because I have seen this 3 times and I really struggle to remember anything that happens in this. This is another 2 out of 10 Chibnall classic.
Things that I like about this episode.
The spiders make me a bit freaked out.
I quite like some of the spider moments. I also like the hotel setting. I like the hotel. Sometimes it doesn't look great, to be fair. It's not as good as the hotel in like the one with your worst fears.
Like Yaz's dad.
Yeah, Yaz's dad is good.
He's quite kooky.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he is the character that would most enjoy travelling with the Doctor in this season.
Oh, Yaz's grandma.
Yeah, she'd be sick. Oh my god, Yaz's grandma.
They can take Graham on it. They can definitely take
Maybe they can get
grandma.
together.
That'd be fucking hot.
Hell yeah.
I'd get off to that.
A full sex scene.
It was Yaz's grandma's name.
Umber.
Is it?
No, it's Uber. No.
It's not Uber.
It begins with U.
Oh.
Umbreen.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Umbreen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It says like Grumbreen.
Umbreen.
It's the combination of Graham and Umbreen.
I ship it.
I ship it too.
Go on, write your fan fiction. So I wonder if there's definitely a fan fiction of season 11.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not.
Ryan grabbed Yaz
Ryan
and said, "Listen, bitch."
Graham entered the room. He was naked from the waist down.
Hello,
I brought a sandwich.
He was wearing a big diaper.
He shat himself in the middle of the room and blowed a big bubble with bubblicious bubble gum. And
This
then left.
made the Doctor wet.
So the Doctor. What are we doing?
We're writing fan fiction because we don't want to talk about this episode.
What do you think of the Trump?
He's shit.
Caricature?
It's shit. This episode's shit.
Is it a Trump caricature or is it just like a guy?
This episode starts with fucking the Doctor going like, "Oh, dinner at Yaz's house."
Yeah, she gets all excited about it. And I swear Yaz just invites the Doctor over.
Graham then decides to go home. Graham's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home," and then he sits and like remembers Grace, and then at Yaz's house. They bring in this shit that doesn't make any sense, where Yaz has like a sister, a dad, and a mum, and it's a whole family, but they never come back again. So it's
they do. They do come back in Demons of the Punjab.
No, it's just the grandma. But the grandma's not in this one.
Oh yeah, her mum is in this.
Her mum and dad and sister are in this.
Yeah.
And there's like they're building up some form of characters, but then they just drop them.
Yeah,
and
the
Doctor's being socially awkward.
Lazy.
The Doctor's being socially fucking awkward, and like none of it's funny.
No.
And the dad is like being vaguely cute, and then the mum calls Yaz and is like, "I need you to pick me up."
Yes.
But the others stay there, and then they investigate the death scene of a woman who got killed by a spider.
Yeah,
and then it's revealed there's spiders everywhere. And then
they've grown because of
Trump's there. They've
grown because he's got like a garbage heap underneath his hotel.
And he keeps on firing Yaz's mum and then threatening to shoot her.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like talks about Trump, and he's just a big villain, but not in a fun like Henry Van Staten way, where like Henry Van Staten from Dalek was like cocky, like megalomaniac villain, but it wasn't done in like a funny way, where it was so campy it was funny. But in this world, it doesn't make any sense that this guy would be like that.
No,
and it doesn't really make sense why he's even in it particularly. And the spiders all come from this like dump the hotel has made, and it's sort of about capitalism.
Isn't it about recycling?
Or like the environment. Yeah.
And then they kill all the spiders.
And then they get rid of them by playing Stormzy.
What? So that's another thing. Why does the Doctor stop him from shooting the giant spider, which is already dying anyway?
I don't know if they kill the spiders. They might just put them in a room and lock the door.
No, the idea was that they die of starvation in there, I swear. Well, because they don't do anything with them after that.
Next season.
All the spiders are still in the room.
Yeah, giant spiders are lazy. It's just super easy.
It's so easy.
Because at least in Kill the Moon, like there's giant spiders, but it's like about other things.
And it's like a twist because it's revealed that they're like bacteria.
Yeah,
that's the idea. But this is literally giant spiders. It's like really, that's all it is.
And it's really cheap to just do that.
And all the spiders look the same as well.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to do giant spiders, it's Sheffield. Why are there so many tarantulas?
It's like, this is fucking Doctor Who. Why isn't the opening sting like a guy, in his house doing something. He hears. He's
Yeah.
like, what? Ah! And then goes.
That'd be sick.
That's what it. You know, come on. It's like easy to write a Doctor
Come on,
Who
man.
joke
That
spider
just
episode.
writes itself.
It writes itself, and then they get there, and Yaz gets a call from her police mate, who's like, "Oh, can you come help out? There's been loads of murders." And then they all go, or just the Yaz and the Doctor go, and Graham and fucking Ryan go off and do their own thing, and then there's spider stuff happening there, and then the Doctor figures out his spiders and that she's interacting with the police officers, and they're all like, "What? Who is
also,
this?"
the webs look shit.
And and then that's just a whole different story. It's fun. Doesn't have to be about recycling or the environment. Doesn't have to have all these characters in it. It just, again, you just need to sit down with Chibnall and be like, look, what's your goal with this? Because you can make this a lot simpler.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all these things. Like,
you don't need all these characters.
and all these different, like, you know, just make it simple. That's what he needs to do. He just overcomplicates every story and grounds it into the dirt, and it just becomes unwatchable and bland. I think that's it. We're done with this one, right? Anything else to say about the webs?
It's just weird.
They don't look good.
They don't look good. Also, it's just like, how did the spiders actually get that big? Did they just grow?
They do explain it.
Did they just grow though?
There's a scene where the scientist gives all the exposition about it.
I know. You get it all in one.
But you can't remember. I can't remember it.
It's bland.
It's a dumb reason.
Some of the death scenes are kind of spiders killing people.
I like the spider coming out the drain.
Yeah.
Like in a scene that looks like The Shining. And killing the bad Trump. He almost kills the bad Trump guy.
Yeah, the bad Trump guy.
But they get saved.
Does it? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
They're not very threatening.
No.
And then
this is like the lowest rated episode ever on IMDb as well.
Is actually?
Yeah.
Wow, fucking hell. Poor Chips.
Well, we didn't write about this in our video because what would we say about it?
What do you say? It's like bad. It's like as bad as the first episode.
Yeah, it's the same.
But it's also like even more boring. And the idea of spiders feels lazy.
It's just the same episode again.
Yeah.
Again, you're just like the same issues. Anyway, move on.
Spider time! It's a spider time! Oh, spider time, Sam! It's an extra slide!
Wow. Who's your favourite spider and why?
What's your favourite breed of spider?
Well, I'm going to list all the spiders that I know of.
No, you got to just give me your top 3 spiders.
My top 3? I thought it was just my favourite one.
Yeah, but I want 3 now.
Well, I don't. I've
been curious about your spiders for ages.
I know Black Widow, garden spices, and tarantulas, and that's it.
The only you don't know the jumping spider, the trapdoor spider.
No.
Oh, I really like the trapdoor spider personally.
What's that one?
So trapdoor spiders are unique because they're like one of the few animals that displays engineering capabilities in the wild.
Oh yeah.
So what trapdoor
They build little traps.
Yeah, well, sort of. What they do is they burrow into the ground and they make a little hatch with a hinge.
Yeah.
So trapdoor spiders are able to make hinges, and it just looks like a flat piece of ground. And when they're hungry, their eyes you never see them. Their eyes just poke up, and when food walks by, they just go bosh, and it's like a little hand coming out of the ground.
That's cool.
Alternatively, I do like the jumping spider. People are big fans of the jumping spider. They're tiny. And they wear to cool themselves down, they wear little drips of water on their heads.
Oh, I like the
they jump.
I like the switcheroo spider. What?
What's that spider?
Have you not heard of the switcheroo spider?
No, can you tell me about it?
So what it does is it builds another spider that looks loads like it out of like dirt and trees and stuff, and then it hides.
Yeah.
And it waits for like a bird to come and eat it, and then it jumps on the bird and kills it. And it's got food for like years.
There's a bird
because they're like that big.
The bird eating spider. There is a spider that eats birds, but it's like the size of a dinner plate.
Cool. We should get that one.
We should get that as a pet.
Then we can bring
I'm sorry that the bonus sizes are shit. I did this all in one go.
We can bring a bird over.
Bring a bird. Feed it a bird.
Yeah. There's more bird.
What other spiders are there that I like?
Tarantulas are cool.
Tarantulas are cool, but they are overrated.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone's all like.
I quite like to just like.
I nearly did get a pet spider at one point. I nearly got a pet trapdoor spider.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I nearly fancied it. But a pet trapdoor spider does just translate into like a little bit of dirt. Like you don't see it.
It's just always hiding.
It's always hiding, and then every now and again you'll see some eyes, and you'll drop something, and a little hand will come out and take it in, and then that's it.
Oh, that's cute. You could put your coins in there.
Keep it as a bank.
Yeah, it's a little bank.
Keep little rolls of money in it. And then I did want jumping spiders, but they are hassle. So
yeah, they're jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I did look into it for ages though.
Oh, I didn't know you like spiders so much.
Spiders and snakes.
Oh.
Tsuranga Conundrum.
3 out of 10. It's slightly better.
Slightly better than
it's the best
Arachnids of the UK.
Best Chibnall episode.
There's a lot. There's actually a lot of elements to this episode that I like a lot.
Pregnant Man.
I thought was really fun. That was like
I quite like the main villain, the main monster.
The Pating.
The Pating, yeah.
The Pating's kind of fun. I also like the idea. I do like the idea of the Doctor and her companions, looking for stuff, and then they all die.
Yeah.
And then an ambulance comes and brings they get completely obliterated.
They get resurrected.
They do, yeah.
I don't know if I like that much.
I just like fucked up things happening to the Doctor.
If that existed,
well, the Doctor would regenerate, I suppose.
Yeah. It doesn't make a huge amount.
A lot of sense.
And it's a weird reference to Genesis of the Daleks.
Oh yeah, it is. But instead, the Doctor doesn't sort it.
Yeah,
it'll blow up.
And then they get brought back to life, and they've got no scars.
What is the Doctor looking for? Is it like parts for the TARDIS?
So she's trying to fix K9. They're getting bits
bring
to fix
back K9.
We want to bring back K9.
What else? There's some other fun shit in this alien shit.
I don't like anything to do with that weird pilot character.
No.
That's really dumb.
And her cyborg.
Because what happens at the end is there's this woman who's she's like a really famous pilot, but she's got pilot's heart or pilot's
some sort
heart,
of illness. Yeah.
Where it's like PTSD.
No, it's just like you can die.
And they're crashing.
Exerting yourself too much.
And they're crashing. And they're like, we need you to do this. And she's like, but if I do this, I'll die. And they're like, yeah, but we need you.
Yeah.
And she does it, but she dies halfway. And then her brother just steps in and finishes it. And it's like, if the brother could have done it, why didn't he do it at the start? And he doesn't even seem that sad that she's dead.
No.
So I feel like it was part of his plan.
What do you think of the fuck me, Sam. You've got to calm down.
I got another text.
What do you think of the fucking monologue that the Doctor gives over the coil?
Well, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's just really bland and educational.
Because it feels like it was trying to go down the educational route, but it never does that again, and it never feels like it's educating you again.
I didn't learn anything from that.
Me neither.
And Jodie Whittaker performs it really badly as well.
It's not performed that well. It's definitely not carried through. I wonder whether that's down to the direction.
It is a difficult monologue to perform, though. It's very
It's just explaining a lot. It's really explaining.
It's very explanatory.
It's not very emotive.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's
again, this episode hasn't got any themes. It's not really about anything.
How does it?
Because it's got the pregnant man.
Rid of the Pating.
It's got the pregnant man having the baby.
Yeah.
And then it's got the mum, the brother and sister. So you could think it's about family, but it isn't.
No.
So it's what is this episode trying to do? If it's just give us a fun adventure, then it kind of fails at that as well.
Well, because it feels a bit set in one place.
Because if they just wanted to do a fun adventure, why would they do any of that other shit? Just do a fun adventure.
Also, the first Doctor, all the characters, because loads of characters die in this episode.
Yeah.
Because the first Doctor character dies as well.
Yeah.
And all the characters are so bland that you don't give a shit.
No.
Oh, and don't they have a really weird out of nowhere moment? The main, the Doctor guy, the young Doctor guy, and his assistant.
The good-looking one, yeah.
The good-looking guy, yeah. And then the girl.
Yeah.
Because he's more good-looking than she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he's dying, they have a really out of place, emotional scene that's had no build up.
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it just you can do it?
You
can handle it. I trust you. And it's where did that come from? You guys just look like you were working.
I know.
You just look like colleagues. I didn't get a sense that you were really close.
Because it's the Doctor being on a hospital ship in itself could be interesting.
as interesting as New Earth. The Doctor's on a hospital.
Just this once, everybody lives.
No,
apart from Cassandra, who dies.
No, he doesn't. He goes, I'll save it. That's a better hospital episode than
much
this
better.
one.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, the Pating is cool though.
The Pating is cool, but
everything.
it doesn't quite fit with any of the other monsters that we've seen.
No,
and
it feels more Men in Black than Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't quite feel particularly right. Because its motivation is just pure destruction.
But I do quite like that idea of like a force of nature being the antagonist.
Yeah, I like it too, but
it could have been done better. But
and then the Doctor tricks it by making it eat a bomb.
She doesn't trick it, but she uses its nature to make it eat a bomb, and then it's full, and then they get rid of it.
Yeah,
and that felt like a pretty good way of beating it.
Yeah, I just kind of.
And the Doctor loses her TARDIS again.
Yeah, she does.
She nearly crashes the ship by trying to get back to her TARDIS.
Yeah.
How do they get back to the TARDIS in the end?
It's the brother who flies the ship.
But he fly it to the main hospital, or does he fly it back to?
They must have gotten back to the planet.
They sorted it out.
Well, they took it with them. They took the TARDIS when they took them.
No, they didn't.
Oh.
Because in her opening scene, he's like, you need to rest. And she's like all anxious about getting her TARDIS back.
Where's my TARDIS?
And he's like, if you do this, you'll kill people. And she nearly does it.
Yeah, I don't care with this episode.
3 out of 10, isn't it?
3 out of 10.
It's not great.
Not good. Bad.
And Jodie Whittaker is... there's so few moments this Doctor's had. Like, we're on episode 5 at this point,
and she's just
there has not been like a memorable scene for the Doctor to have.
I know.
I really think it's like a lack of material for Whittaker as well.
It's a shame. It's a real shame.
Because they're just
now,
not, what's the Doctor as a character?
I also think it's really weird that Chibnall just wrote like the first 5.
Yeah.
The first 5 episodes is just all Chibnall.
Yeah. You should do the first 3, bring in another writer.
Yeah.
For like 2.
Like how it was
Where's
done.
Mark Gatiss?
Where's Mark Gatiss?
I want to see Mark Gatiss
right for Jodie Whittaker. I know.
That would be interesting.
Bring back Moffat. I don't care.
Do you think they'll bring back Gatiss to write Whittaker episode?
No, they won't.
He's just sailed off with Moffat.
Yeah, he's doing Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that'll be
Dracula. He's doing Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that'll be any good?
Yeah, definitely.
Or dumb.
I mean, it's Moffat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it'll be dumb and good.
Now we're on to a
Demons
new
of the
writer.
Punjab.
We give that a 2 out of 10 because it's 2 scripts in one. It's a Doctor Who story that doesn't have an ending. That is really disappointing. And it's an ITV drama with bad acting and bad scripts.
Yeah.
On the other side. And both of those individually are 2 out of 10. And then combined, they become 2 out of 10.
It's such a shame because so much of Whittaker's season is also more makes me feel more sad because it's really obviously like missed potential for doing like new, fun and interesting.
I know, because this is like a Back to the Future episode. Like this could have been really fun.
It could have been, and it's like a good idea as well, and it's like an interesting setting. It's a new setting for the Doctor. We spoke about this quite a lot in the video.
It's just got shit monsters in it.
The monsters are really disappointing.
The acting sucks.
Whittaker is like so insensitive as well to like any like time stuff.
Yeah.
Like she's letting this other guy marry Yaz and barely like assures her about anything.
Yeah.
She's barely like, don't worry about it, Yaz. Like, there's not. She's actually like happily like potentially destroying her like future.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And like gives it no second thought.
But that's the way that they characterize the 13th Doctor, like, entirely.
Yeah.
She's, like, really distant from anything that's real.
Yeah.
She's just always really fake.
Yeah.
It never feels genuine.
Things I did like. I do like the Doctor being with the brides. And having her nails, having her hand painted and stuff. She's like, oh, I didn't do this when I was a bloke.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I like that, yeah.
I didn't love... but I quite liked the Doctor's wedding speech that she gives. I thought that was actually okay.
Yeah.
And I think
I like the name. Demons of the Punjab.
Yeah, it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
As well. I mean, a lot of it looks really pretty.
I don't think there's anything we think about this episode that we didn't put in the video.
Well, there's such wasted character development for Yaz.
Yeah, exactly. This really should be Yaz's episode. But it
She's
isn't.
not in it a
There's
lot.
because what I was trying to, I was looking through it, and I was trying to find like close-ups of Yaz,
Yeah.
and there was barely any. I used all the close-ups of Yaz from the entire episode in like 10 seconds, and it was done.
Jesus.
And it really should be her episode.
It should be about her.
It
'Cause
should
there's
be
not
about
a lot of
her-
her like sincerely interacting with like her grandmother as a young woman.
Yeah, and
Or
seeing the
anything like
world
that.
and getting to know India.
Or even
and-
being excited by it.
I
Like,
know.
look at her in that picture. She like Ryan looks quite excited,
Yeah.
but she looks really fucked off.
Yeah, she doesn't look happy. Yeah.
And it still bothers me that like if you're gonna go more naturalistically, you should actually get the characters like dressing up for the era.
Yeah, they should dress up. They
at
knew they
this
were going
point-
to India.
At this point,
Yaz even probably has some Indian clothes.
yeah, like,
from her mum or something.
Or she could even
yeah.
borrow clothes from her grandma.
Yeah, she probably
Like,
has something.
At this point, like the Doctor Who
imagine
is
if she
trying
was
to
given
take
like a
herself too
hand,
seriously.
a hand-me-down dress from her grandma, which she puts on.
Yeah.
It's all old, and they go back in time, and she's wearing the same dress, but it's like new, and it's like
Oh,
more
that'd be
colourful.
so
You're like,
good.
what? It's the same dress? What?
Because
What?
like at this point now as well, Doctor Who's taking itself too seriously to not make it part of like time travel to infiltrate the culture. I
Yeah.
swear down. Like,
Well, it's also just not very fun. There's nothing fun about this episode.
no, it takes itself seriously because of the subject matter.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't feel like because it's all a wedding story, so it doesn't build its plot around. What was the actual
Oh yeah. A petition.
partition?
Partition.
It better be partition.
It is partition. Yeah.
But it doesn't really build.
And that's
its narrative is slightly about it,
And that's
it's
just
all-
facts. It's like watching a news report about it.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I would never get a sense
Well,
of how
it's
it
always
really
people
affected the people.
yeah,
Yeah.
and or like exactly.
Same with the Rosa Parks
well, it
episode.
leaves you
Like
with
I would.
very-
I just want to see people be oppressed.
I think it's good that it left you with an understanding of like what happened.
Yeah.
I want people to just take that. What you just said is just a little line.
I want to see people being oppressed. Yeah.
It's because someone just take that and like put it about the place. Just do a NitPix exposed video.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that will really break the internet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. I wish we had more haters.
I know we don't have any haters.
Like no one gives a shit really. People like comment shit, but like I want someone making a video calling us out.
Yeah. Well, I heard I Hate Everything is making one.
Oh, thank God.
It's going to be called Why I Hate This YouTube
Why
channel.
I Hate NitPix.
And it opens up with these punk ass bitches.
Stole my video.
They stole my
They've
technique.
ripped me off. They've ripped me off, he'll say.
Yeah, no, he is making that, yeah. So subscribe to I Hate Everything.
If I Hate Everything makes that video, I'm gonna fucking drop kick him.
I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
go to his
house and drop kick him. We had a theory that he might have lived in our hometown, or I did. Did I ever tell you about it?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfounded.
It's not mass. It's a bit crackpot, but there is one piece of evidence.
I mean, Britain is a small country, so... like,
Yes,
yeah, your evidence is that he did a collab with Kadikarus.
he did a Google
But-
search or
Oh.
something, and when he did on one of his videos, he does a Google search, and the town that we're from came up as a search result, as a search option.
Ooh, oh,
That's
maybe
what
he
happened.
is.
That, From my memory, that was ages ago. Though.
He follows us, we should just ask him.
Yeah, we should actually. Yeah,
Alright.
that's a good idea.
Anyway.
Sorry, no.
Demons of the
you
Punjab.
can hear this shit. You're
Yeah,
our mates.
you're our mates.
Demons of the Punjab. Very few companions get a moment. I mean, because this is really passive character interaction as well. Like the characters are really passive in this episode. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They literally let things play out as they're meant to.
Yeah.
Whilst they get distracted by this B plot, which is like irrelevant to absolutely everything.
I know, it's so dumb.
Which is like
we want to watch people die.
we want to watch
who
people
are
die because
alone.
our planet died, so we're going to be with people when they die alone.
So
Like, why
it's
would
like-
you want to see some creepy
It's
monsters?
episode 6 and already 2 villains have mastered the ability to time travel, which is something that should uniquely be to Doctor Who.
Tim Shaw.
No. Well, 3 then.
Well, no, it's not.
Krasko.
Krasko can time travel, but we don't know if Tim Shaw time travels.
Yeah, we don't know,
We
but
don't know.
Krasko and the demons of Punjab.
Travel through time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Well, no,
And also
actually,
they've
the
got
demons from
a
Demons
full-
of the Punjab might not be time traveling either.
No, but they've got a full database of the exact time people die and whether they die alone as well because they're ready for it.
Yeah, isn't it they're the only two left? It's a really, really, really bland explanation, actually. It doesn't, like, make any real sense.
Yeah, because they could be feeding off their fear.
They could be doing something.
And
it's quite unpleasant. If I was dying alone, I'd rather die alone than
also,
die with them opposite
It's a
me.
bit too similar to Twice Upon a Time.
Twice Upon a Time?
The one with the last Moffat episode. Oh, it's not an evil plan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to do when it's not an evil plan.
Yeah.
It's like the same as this.
It is. Yeah, it's true. And then, well, because the idea is that the villain or the monster or the demons is actually the human.
Yeah.
The humans turning on.
Because the
humans.
closest episode to this is Father's Day with Rose, where she goes back to see her dad. But that's way more loaded because he dies.
I wish the aspect of familial betrayal was given more weight.
Yeah.
You don't actually seem to spend enough time with the characters who actually should be central to the story, which is obviously like the husband and the brother and the wife. And Yaz's grandmother, you barely even see Yaz's grandma. Like it's not like spent a lot of time with her either.
Yeah, I think just like Yaz and her grandma should have had like a big argument in this.
Yeah, or just
something.
like a chat or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there needed to be something.
There needed to be conflict. There's no conflict
because
until the end.
Yaz comes back and she comes back and goes, "Wow, I really appreciate that you had like a hard time." And we're also left going, "Yeah, we definitely saw that you had a hard time, but we don't really know who you are."
Yeah.
Or like how that's what that means.
Ryan could have said that to Yaz's grandma as well.
Yeah.
It's as much Ryan's episode as it is Yaz's episode.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Try harder.
And also it does bother me because I'm like, this should be fucking up with timelines in a deep way.
I don't know what else Vinay Patel has written, but I'm not sure.
I bet it's garbage.
No, I checked it. It's nothing like particularly standout.
No.
So I'm pretty sure he was asked to write it because of his Indian heritage, which is, a good idea, but then I think it became a bit unfocused in terms of what it needed to be, because when you're only asking someone to write something about India, there's an entire like script with like other things going with characters and science fiction. It becomes a bit of a mess in terms of, and that's why it feels like 2 scripts that are combined.
You wouldn't want someone who was. I think if
this was written by a non-Indian
person, it probably would have come off like even worse.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, no.
Like what I can say is like I do respect both Rosa and Demons of the Punjab. Like I can respect them. I actually particularly Demons of the Punjab because it is covering an era and a time and an event that's rarely talked about. Like I think that is like respectable, but that doesn't mean that the episode itself is better.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make it a better story, but I still think it's a good thing to cover the subject matter. I just wish there was a better story that did it.
Yeah, they should have shown.
It did leave me. I did achieve its goal, which is I'm more aware of.
Partition.
All
right, moving on.
Kablam!
4 out of 10.
Kablam!
Same as Rosa.
Yeah, that's fair, isn't it?
It's got moments. I like the robots.
I like the set design of the Amazon warehouse place. No, I don't actually.
Yeah, you said you didn't.
I was just thinking about it. I was like, no, I don't. It's really boring.
Yeah,
the robots are good.
I like the Doctor going undercover.
Didn't do it very well though, did she?
Yeah.
None of them really went undercover.
No.
How cool would it be if it like skips time and they were like there in Kablam for like a year?
50 years. Yeah.
They
were old
like
now.
just for a long time. That would have been pretty cool.
Because they weren't allowed to leave. We spoke about this one quite a lot.
Yeah, the biggest weird thing is that like this is the first episode which that now says that like politically starts to make the whole season feel murky.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying like, oh, I like the fact that it's talking, highlighting issues, but then Kablam is like feels like a really weirdly like pro-capitalistic thing, but it also came out during the time of the Amazon controversy, which makes it even more uncomfortable because it's like this is the Doctor defending the Amazon workplace. Like it's so clear that these people are like
what is it trying to say? Because also like this guy, you can say what you want about this terrorist plan, but it did get them to promise to try and make things better for workers. So in some way it was successful.
Yeah. I just wish this would have been a really good episode for the Doctor to really show off some good chops of negotiating, defending the little man, and being cool.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any of that. We got like Toy Story 2. There's the love. So why would they make the terrorist some insane guy who's going to blow up everyone, but give him a subplot where he's in love with someone, and make the Kablam system kill her as well? The Kablam system's been killing people as a way to like defend itself.
Just where's the sense of fun in this episode as well?
Yeah, it's not fun at all, is it? For a sci-fi episode, like New Earth is really goofy and shit, but is really fun.
Yeah.
You got Cassandra body switch and all that. This is literally like you watch them work as Amazon workers and talk to people. You get a couple of monologues.
And then people die.
You get a couple of monologues about how horrible the conditions are and how horrible it is to work and how they're forced to be thankful for these like horrible like jobs that like they have, which they're probably going to lose. And then the Doctor saves the day by ensuring that they all get to like keep that job.
Yeah, people are like, oh, the Doctor tries to save him.
Yes. But then
I just feel like she could have deactivated the robots as easily as she could have activated them to blow
and
up.
like there was never a moment where the Doctor tried to connect with the struggle of this worker.
Yeah, because she was hanging out with him before as well.
Graham was.
No, she was as well. He was with them.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Are you sure he was with the Doctor?
Yeah, yeah.
He was definitely with Brian and Yaz.
He was with the Doctor.
He was definitely with Graham.
No, because they're with Graham, and then they get the robot. When they get the droid, he's with them.
Yeah. All right. And Graham seems really unbothered, even though he's like worked with him and helped him like start a relationship.
I know it just.
So like they humanize this guy loads, and for the Doctor to kill him, and it doesn't feel tragic. It feels insensitive.
Yeah, I just don't know because people say that Doctor Who is a kids show, but I just don't know how a kid can like proper get into this episode really.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how a kid can get into a lot of it.
But we've given it.
But then, like
we've given it 4 out of 10 because
our roommate like worked with kids and they said they were really enjoying this season. So
yeah. Well, he said they really like Jodie.
Yeah, we gave it a 4 because it is like it's using sci-fi in an interesting way. It does feel like it's going somewhere. It's one of the easier ones to watch.
Yeah.
It plays out quite nicely.
The music's really good in this one, actually.
Really good.
The Kablam theme is pretty lit.
Yeah, that's tight. And the characters are quite garish they are quite fun before they start being humanized. Like the evil bosses are quite fun.
Yeah.
As well. But not fun. It could be more fun.
I know.
But it's all right.
Yeah. Ugh, so draining.
It's tiring, man.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, next episode.
We spoke about this one.
We
didn't speak about the Witchfinder.
This has like one of my favourite aspects.
Yeah, Alan Cummings.
The more I think about Alan Cummings, the more I'm like, what he was really sick in this.
He came in and just gave it.
And he stole the entire show. Alan Cummings for the Doctor.
Yeah.
Alan Cummings' character from the Witchfinder.
Yeah, as the Doctor.
I would be so stoked with that. And I love him like coming on to Ryan, like wanting to fuck Ryan the whole way through. It's really funny. I think that's a great idea. Should have been played on more. Should have been more present.
The Doctor being accused of a witch.
Also, them getting Alan Cummings to show off all his like witch torturing tools.
Yeah.
That Alan Cummings alone is the reason why this is 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Everything else is like really uninteresting.
It's just like a standard bad historical Doctor Who episode, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel particularly non-Who like. It feels like as good as like Shakespeare Code.
Did we give Shakespeare Code 4?
Yeah, we may have given it. Yeah, we've given it a 4.
Yeah.
And or like the Pompeii episode.
Yes.
Like it feels very in that sort of area.
This is probably one of the more Doctor Who-y feeling Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah, it's just not a particularly good episode.
No, it's like a bad Doctor Who episode where the Doctor
it's still better than Chibnall.
Yeah, Alan Cummings is great.
Yeah,
and the weird tree monsters aren't good.
No, they're not
weird
good.
Mud monsters.
The main villain woman isn't
You've got
good.
zombies again in this as well.
Yeah,
pseudo zombies, obviously.
The Doctor doesn't really do a whole lot in terms of representing the plight of women.
The plight of women.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, this would have been a more interesting episode to play on the Doctor's femininity. They accuse her of being a witch and stuff.
Yeah,
and
she sort of does.
Yeah, I just would have liked it if we could see the Doctor feel like really insulted and start noting differences to how like something like that, some continuous thing where she's like adjusting to the new gender. Because after 60 years having a new gender, I just feel like it should have been explored more.
Yeah, I know. I just kind of feel like the whole like who's a witch kind of thing is. I don't know, because the problem with the episode is it opens with a woman being executed for being a witch, which is quite high in terms of the opening stakes and the opening kind of narrative in terms of the first act. That's a very strong opening.
Yeah.
And it never really, that's like the peak of it, because it never really gets more intense than that one scene.
Yeah.
So the whole thing feels quite flat after
and
that
I think
original
it's fair to
scene.
say that first scene plays out quite well. It plays out well. It's dampened by the fact that the Doctor prefaces her helping her by saying, "Guys, we can't interact with history at all," and then does it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, why after the Doctor being around for so long, it doesn't feel appropriate. But I guess it's new fans and shit. But I don't think it really says anything about the Doctor's character either. So
yeah, I think it was
like,
a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah, it is a gag.
It's a gag. Because it's like if it opened with them going to like this village and like things are happening but they're not quite sure what's happening, and then loads of people are like talking about the Doctor and stuff, and Ryan's just being like, oh, you've got to be careful, like it's a different time, to the Doctor.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's like not aware of it because the Doctor's used to being a man.
Yeah.
Then the Doctor gets accused of being a witch and it all goes pear-shaped, and then you have that this build-up of tension to this big moment.
Because also the Doctor gets thrown into the water and breaks out of the chains and is fine.
Because she knew Houdini.
Because she knew Houdini. I was friends with Houdini. She's got all these like skills.
Yeah.
The Doctor being like a skilled person.
It's like if we're going to have the Doctor break out of the chains under the water, they could have shot that as a cool action scene.
Why not have the companion save her though? Like...
Yeah,
that would have made because
I don't really remember the companions doing a whole lot in this episode,
except for Ryan getting flirted with by.
I think Yaz and the Doctor both talk to this
other woman
who's like the daughter of
the one who is accused of being a witch.
Yeah,
and then she accuses them of being a witch.
Yeah, she changes her. She double crosses them.
I quite like the woman as well. The woman who keeps accusing everyone of being a witch.
She's kind of goofy. Yeah.
It was quite satisfying when she died. I was like, all got infected.
I just don't really feel anything with this episode. It's so weird that every time we have a 4 out of 10 episode, we have to justify why it's rated so highly. But 4 out of 10 is like a pretty low rating.
Yeah. Alan Cummings is good. You should watch this episode for Alan Cummings.
No, I would say don't.
Skip it.
I'd say skip the whole season.
Well,
not my Doctor. Not my Doctor.
If you're a Who fan, you should watch it.
It Takes You Away. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It Takes You Away.
Well, maybe it's called that.
It Takes You Away.
Unless I made a mistake.
It Takes You Away.
What do you think of It Takes You Away?
Everyone likes this one, but I don't.
There's a lot of shit about to this episode.
I hate a lot of things.
The only bit that really works is the ending.
Yeah.
Which
is why you've used that picture.
Yeah, the final act is the best part of it. For some reason they just go to Norway.
Graham and Grace is pretty good.
Graham and Grace that's the ending though. That's the final act. Like,
but it's a bit milked.
It's a bit milked.
It's a bit obvious
It gets disturbing in quite a fun way though.
Yeah, because I would have liked more dead people to come back.
Yeah.
More dead friends to come back.
Yeah.
To try and make them stay, and the loneliness aspect of it.
The dad is like dumb. Why would he's imprisoned his blind daughter in his house by using monster sounds to keep her too scared to leave the house, and
they leave her with him at the end. They're like,
they leave her with him. It's like definitely abuse, like abandonment.
Awful dad.
And it's like about mourning, so like I guess, but it was a bit weird, but I quite like that. It made it quite nightmarish. The shit that makes it really like lose that kind of dreamlike nightmare quality that could have been really good and continuous through the whole episode is the really like obvious like transitionary space where they have to go through with the flesh moths and the weird,
and there's a weird rubber masked man in there.
And the alien looks pretty good, but like that whole space like feels stupid. Like it just feels
bats in it.
Yeah, I have no idea why
bats.
this like space would have so much in it.
I know.
Like, why does it have so many creatures and things in it? If it's just like a space that's keeping two universes apart.
Yeah, because it's like it's just like, again, like if this was going to be an episode about a universe, a pocket universe which is sentient, and it's like lonely and it's trying to get people in it, then like immediately what you want to do is you want to go through the doorway in the house and just find loads of people there. Loads of people that have been trapped there.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know, to show like, oh, look, and then the Doctor takes all the friends away and the universe gets sad.
Well, this is it. It's a sentient universe, but the scope is always quite small.
Well, it's a sentient universe, and like they could have really focused on this idea of loss and death because the mum dies as a theme, but it's just a bit just like, meh.
It is a bit meh.
It just doesn't quite go for it.
Quite like the final scene with the frog.
Yeah.
Don't like the Norwegian blind girl.
No, she's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Oh, not a fun character. The Doctor going like, assume he's dead.
Yeah.
What did you write on your wall?
I know what you write it. You lied to me.
We can make fun of Norwegians because they have a better standard of living than us. So, fuck you, Norway.
If you're watching this and you're Norwegian, you'll probably live 10 years longer than me, so
and
fuck you.
Probably have better education and
you'll
healthcare.
Probably be more intelligent than me.
You're more likely to earn money.
Your job will probably be more enjoyable.
And you probably have just like a higher grade of happiness. Like we probably are more prone to misery.
So your accent's weird.
And you're weird.
You're weird.
You're not as cool as us.
So next episode.
Is there anything else to say? It's really it comes and goes for such a strange concept. There is not a lot to really like talk about with it.
The Doctor doesn't do much apart from tell Ryan.
Tell Graham.
It's just like this weird lack of focus on the Doctor, where the Doctor just is so murky and like in the background for most of it.
Yeah.
And she just isn't like particularly fun or exciting. Because if she sees a pocket universe, you kind of want her to be more like
sentient universe.
Yeah, sentient, whatever kind of world. Kind of expect her to be about like.
Because it's about loneliness. The universe is lonely. The dad's lonely. Graham's lonely.
Exactly, but it's not really. It's sort of about that, but
it never really says anything about those things. It just says they exist, which is a pretty continuous thing. Whereas like a theme for this season is just saying this thing exists.
Yeah,
that's the theme.
Because again, the opening stinger could be the dad with his daughter, you know, helping her. They're cute. We like both of them, and then, and the mum's dead. We've established the mum's dead, and then in the mirror he sees his wife, and he's like, "What?" And then he jumps into the mirror, and it goes.
Do you know what I was thinking? More like it's like he's with his daughter, hanging out with her, and then he gives her a little kiss. It's a bit weird, and he's acting a bit odd, and then he leaves, and then like he come back, and it's just the daughter's like, Dad, and he's like,
you gotta see something vaguely freaky happen.
That's freaky. He just disappears.
Yeah, a bit of naturalism.
But that's the season.
Stepping into a mirror.
No, because then the mirror
wife
reveal comes in later, because otherwise you already know the Doctor has to go into the mirror.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
It's more interesting if you keep it vague. I think it's more disturbing if you keep it... Leave in the comments.
They find it pretty quickly.
Leave in the comments.
Who had the better opening?
Who had the better opening?
It's me, but
it's me. It's obviously me.
The Battle of Ranskor Av Kolos. What is with Chibnall and these stupid sci-fi names?
More like the Battle of Ranskor Av Colon.
Like what is Ranskor Av Kolos? What battle? There isn't a battle. Why is it called that? Neither Moffat or Russell ever gave their episode titles dumb shit like that. I guess it's because it's more classic Who. But like, even when they did that, like Ranskor Av Kolos would be something that we knew. What even is a Ranskor Av Kolos?
You're a Ranskor Av Kolos.
Is it the planet? What's the battle? There's no battle.
Haven't they just come after a battle?
No.
So this episode lacks scope for like the last episode, which it's not exactly, but
It's
it is.
supposed to be a finale.
It's the biggest waste of the best guest actor they had. They had
Mark
Robert
Addy.
Robert.
You sound like him then.
Thanks. They had Robert Baratheon, and he's the best guest actor in it, and he does have the best character.
Should have just made him the fucking villain. Fuck Tim Shaw.
Fuck Tim Shaw. He would have been a sick
Who
villain.
cares about Tim Shaw?
So Tim Shaw's back, and you couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah.
Um,
They've got blockers.
this episode's weird, man. It's not not in a good way.
It's
it plays
not
out
even
in such a
slightly
bland
good.
way. Like,
Yeah.
There's so many things that could little things that could be done to make this feel like it was a more substantial, more important episode. There's like very little that you see of like planet Earth when it's being attacked, because I think that's the battle maybe. But it and they're all in these weird diamonds, which look a bit plasticky. Tim Shaw has taken this species, which is made up of two people who can control matter, and he's using them, and he's made them he's become their god.
Yeah.
And he's using them to take these planets.
It's like a Journey's End thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Journey's End thing.
Yeah.
And the Doctor stops him with her TARDIS, just with MacGuffin-y behaviour.
So I like the fact that the Doctor uses the light on the TARDIS.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But it had already been done in Hyde.
Yeah, I know it'd been done in Hyde. We had that debate
We did.
already. Yeah, it'd been done in Hyde, but it was still, you know.
It was good. Doctor using her TARDIS as like a gadget to save the world is kind of fun.
Yeah. Graham killing.
This is
Tim
one of
Shaw.
this is such a disappointing episode. This is also one of the episodes where actually I think the set design is not that good compared to a lot of the other
It's
moments.
just a spaceship.
And it looks very grey and very bland.
Yeah.
There's one moment that I like, which is the opening shot
This
of
might
Tim
be the
Shaw.
worst episode of the season.
I might agree. It's at least as bad as the first episode.
Yeah, it feels like a dead sequel to the first episode.
Yeah, so I do like the opening shot of Tim Shaw, where it's like, and he's like sitting there.
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
And a good like, oh, that looks cool. Other than that, it's very like,
Again, what's it about? Like,
it's not about anything. This is not about anything.
Graham wants to kill Tim Shaw because he killed
and
Grace.
then he doesn't. But it's like, sorry, Ryan's killed someone. The Doctor's killed someone. There's been more death generally.
And Grace didn't get killed.
Also, didn't they kill the aliens in the Witchfinder?
Probably, yeah.
They set them on fire.
Yeah, they do kill him.
So why doesn't she want to kill Tim Shaw if she's like okay with killing aliens?
And Grace didn't get killed though. She fell off a crane. It was an accident.
Off her own stupidity.
Yeah, she fell off a crane.
So like Tim Shaw isn't even directly responsible. If Tim Shaw was hunting Grace and killed her,
Yeah.
that would feel more interesting.
Or if he went to the tentacle monster, kill her. And the tentacle monster killed her.
Yeah, but I think even then it's like still a bit like it would feel better if he just directly fucking murdered
Stabs her,
her.
yeah.
Like that makes so much more sense to why because he guns that he like kills people like they're nothing. So if he killed Grace like she just was meaningless,
I know, right?
it would feel more interesting.
Let us
because
in,
you don't even
coach.
care.
Let us on the team. We're ready, coach. It's just general like logic. It's just like, why?
This episode is like I would describe as long. It's like a long. It's like, oh man, this is long.
It's
like
just
boring.
it tests you.
They bring back the robots from the Ghost Monument.
Yeah, everyone's favorite robots.
Yeah, it's where it all comes together.
Yeah, they bring back Krasco. Pating is
The
there.
Pating eats the Doctor.
And Alan Cummings.
I'd love it. If
Alan Cummings was in this.
Alan Cummings for companion.
Yeah, they should have made him a companion. Mark
Costs too
Addy.
much.
What's he even doing in this?
It doesn't. Hasn't
He's
he like
lost his memories.
forgotten things?
Yeah, and then he gets given a thing.
And then he redeems himself by killing robots.
Does he kill robots?
I'm pretty sure he kills robots. Yeah.
Does he die at the end, or is he?
No, maybe. I don't know. I think it's family.
I think he's
died.
alive, yeah, at the end, and he like waves them off. He goes, goodbye.
Oh, for last episode, this is really like this is the finale of the season.
Yeah, because even when editing this, I was like, what?
This is
What
like
is
really
it?
odd and doesn't work and is just definitely disappointing. So, this is something you can skip.
You can skip the whole season.
Look, man, if you're a Doctor Who fan, you should just watch all of it. You need to. So
Yeah.
if you want to get into Doctor Who, there are episodes of this season that you should watch just to understand where Doctor
Well,
Who
then
is
this
at.
one is, because it's the finale.
No, because you can watch the holiday special. You can watch the New
Yeah.
Year's special instead.
Anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Talk about something that's more worth talking.
Resolution
of the
5 out of
Daleks.
10.
Best
It's the best
episode.
one. It's vaguely
And-
enjoyable.
Actually, like Sam was really excited when he first watched this.
Yeah, I was.
You were
because
really
I was
into
I
it.
was so sure we wouldn't see a Dalek.
Yeah.
I was so sure that they would just do some shit where like we didn't get to see a Dalek.
So this is what's nice.
The
And
Dalek
this is
destruction scene is
this
the
is
coolest
what's
fucking
tight,
thing ever.
Is they got the Dalek down pretty well.
Yes.
Like even when the Dalek is out of its shell and doing invaders of the body
I
snatcher,
like it, yeah.
I like it too.
Yeah.
It's fun. Its the voice acting is really sick for
Yeah.
the Dalek. This is like it's a new because this is the first remote control Dalek, I think. Is what
yeah,
they said.
there's no one in there.
But I actually think that works as well.
It looks
Like,
cool,
It makes
yeah.
the Dalek feel better.
Yeah.
I wonder because it does feel good. The Dalek looks
Yeah.
and acts really well, and I like Jodie Whittaker interacting with the Dalek as well. A bit.
Yeah.
This is the funniest episode.
I like the
as
unit
well.
thing.
The unit thing.
Yeah.
This is the funniest episode.
Yeah,
It's got the most stakes
yeah,
because it's a Dalek.
yeah.
Like it's a good episode. It's a 5 out of 10. You can
Yeah.
watch it and enjoy it.
It's
You know,
as good as
and
Christmas Invasion.
And I think on a subject, it could be a 6 out of 10 for some people as well.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I wouldn't because this is like one of the best Dalek episodes we've had in ages.
Yeah.
No, okay. Asylum of the Daleks is.
I would argue that the second episode with Peter Capaldi
Oh yeah.
and Missy and like
Oh yeah. You
that's
mean
probably a bit
going
better
inside
than this.
the Dalek?
Yeah.
That
No,
is
not
better
that
than
one.
this.
No, the one with Davros. The second one.
Oh. yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant, but she's. This is a better. This is like Asylum. Did we give Asylum a 6?
We gave it a 5 as well.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I personally enjoy this a bit more than Asylum of the Daleks.
Yeah. The Ryan
that's,
stuff.
like,
The
bullshit.
Ryan stuff with his dad sucks.
The Ryan stuff with
ending
his dad
sucks.
The ending where they throw the Dalek into a star.
Yeah, but the dad and he's like, "Ugh, I've got the slime on.
Oh, I
me."
quite liked him when he was
Yeah.
possessed by the Dalek.
I just wanted the Ryan's dad to become like a Dalek villain. I would have liked that.
Yeah, a Dalek-controlled villain. I like the idea that the Daleks can take control of people like that as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
It makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah, because it's like they just anything can be their shell.
They're just evil. Yeah.
yeah, they're just cunts.
They're
like
just
that.
pure evil. The opening is pretty epic.
Yeah. It's got. This is the first episode with scope as well.
Yeah,
I
they
think,
cut
'cause
up
you
the
get-
Dalek into pieces and buried it. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's
who
Doctor
gives
Who.
a shit?
It's
Doctor
camp,
Who.
it's fun, I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
The archaeologists annoy me. They're really
I don't
boring.
mind the girl archaeologist as much, especially
Yeah.
after she gets possessed.
When she
by
gets
the
possessed,
Dalek.
that's fun, yeah.
And she's possessed
Yeah.
for most of it.
Yeah.
Their dumb romance is dumb.
I like Jodie like putting a bomb on him.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. The way they defeat the Dalek.
They shouldn't
feels
kill
pretty
Tim
good.
Shaw. They shouldn't kill Tim Shaw.
Yeah, they kill the Dalek,
they
but
should
not
kill
Tim
Shaw.
Tim Shaw.
They should have put the Dalek in a stasis chamber.
This is the best. Yeah, this is the best Whittaker
Yeah.
episode.
So there's a chance, you know.
So I
we
mean,
can get better.
the thing is like actually like the thing is like. I think the best thing about this is it shows that they've been able to reinterpret a classic Who villain in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
Because the way they've interpreted the Daleks works. The weapons that it has, the way it interacts, the things it does in its goal,
Yeah.
and how indestructible it is and sort of unmerciful it is with its approach. All of that's like really like good, and it's like a scary Dalek. And then you get the body snatcher stuff, which is a whole new angle to Daleks, which I think works as well. So if the new season goes on this trajectory of interpreting classic Who villains in this way, and makes its scripts a bit more fun. Like, actually, I think season 2 could end up being really fun.
Yeah.
And like, if you take in aspects of like the Alan Cummings stuff, this was the funniest episode. It does have some comedic moments that work. The unit stuff, the family watching telly is a bit camp, but it is funny.
Yeah.
Like, relatively works. So like, the thing is, this season left me with enough where I went, I'm still going to check out season 2 because I reckon actually like maybe that could be the one that does it.
Season 12, you mean?
But
Season 2 was with David Tennant and Rose.
I'll check out Jodie's second season.
I don't know if I can, you know.
Really?
I might just leave it.
Really?
And just
No,
hear
you
what
won't.
people say about it.
You won't. You're going to watch it.
No, I'll just wait for you to tell me whether it's worth it or not.
No, you're going to watch
No,
it. You have no escape. I'm sorry. You're too deep in.
No,
You're too
I can't
deep in.
be arsed.
Come on, are you telling me there wasn't? There were moments of this season,
No,
not revolving around the Doctor as a character.
It wasn't worth it.
No, it wasn't worth it, but there was enough. There's little glimmers.
No,
little
I'm done.
shards.
I'm done with Whittaker unless people start saying it's good again, and I'll check it out.
No, you're not.
I am.
You are not. You are so not.
So done.
I don't believe you for an instant.
Because the resolution was pretty fun.
Resolution
But on the
was
rewatch,
pretty
it
fun.
wasn't as good.
On the rewatches, I always knew it was a 5 out of 10.
This one should have come out on Christmas. What's Chibnall doing with his non-Christmas episodes?
He can't write Christmas episodes.
He can't write regular
Moffat
episodes.
was the Christmas episode master.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Russell did alright.
Russell did not do all right.
Christmas Invasion, bruv. I love Christmas Invasion.
Shut up with your nonsense.
That's the kind of doctor I am. No second chances.
But yeah, I think if you're going to watch any episode of... Oh, actually, I also think it's worth mentioning, this was the episode where I actually thought I grasped what they were doing with, like, team dynamics.
Yeah, because they've got Yaz being, like, an assistant.
Yaz is, like, a direct assistant to the Doctor, and, like, Graham is this, like... It just felt like it was clear. For the first time, I started to see why the Doctor had them as companions. And you saw her having nice interactions with them. You know, when they're in Graham's apartment, coming back and forth before Ryan's meeting up with his dad. The in-between scenes there, they're quite fun. And the Doctor has a distance, which I was enjoying. I also think this episode was filmed better. I don't know. It felt like it was.
It seemed pretty much the same.
Oh no, it was. I think they recolored the TARDIS a bit. They added like blues, I swear.
Maybe.
Which made it look. I thought the TARDIS looked better basically in this episode as well. I thought it came off nicer looking. So I think and that Dalek like against the army scene and is probably
that is lit.
It's probably one of the best Dalek scenes of Dalek destruction
for a while
since
season 1.
Since Dalek.
Yeah. No, season 1. Parting of the Ways.
Yes.
Has some great Dalek scenes.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was
Dalek
satisfying. I wish it was shot at night, but that's just a little niggle.
That's a niggle, yeah. But I liked it a lot. That was cool. So, you know, there's things to like.
We are done.
We might be.
Overall,
but I might have a... Oh, yeah, this is it. Aha. Sorry.
Our season rating is 3.8 out of 10.
Lowest rated season.
Not good. Even this poster of it makes it seem like it's more fun than what it actually is.
Yeah, because they never get this many colours involved.
I know.
I would have loved it if they did.
I know, yeah. Because I really think Whittaker's season could be really like surreal and goofy.
Yeah.
And they could really play out like its campness.
It could be anything it wanted to be.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of the colours and like the characters they're going for.
It's all very dialed back.
Yeah.
It's not really... It never seems like Chibnall's actually having fun.
Yeah, he needs to take some drugs.
He needs to do some coke. What was Russell T writing Doctor Who on? Salvia.
No. Acid.
I don't think so. I think he's
ecstasy.
No. Well, maybe ecstasy. Yeah, probably. It's very 90s. That Rose episode is definitely written on ecstasy. All right, so it's Plastic Men, yeah.
I can feel it, Rose. I can feel it.
And then Moffat's season was written on coke.
Chibnall needs to find his drug.
For Doctor Who.
Heroin, I think.
The Doctor Who season on heroin. Really murky and nightmarish.
Anyway, yeah.
And I think
that is the end of the Doctor Who PowerPoint presentation. Thank you.
But just to round it all out with like, because I thought,
why is this not in the order of the Doctors?
What do you mean?
It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 11, 13, 12, 10, 8.
It's just like a melting out. It's like she's the center point, isn't she?
Did you make this?
No.
Oh, you just got this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what they...
It's melting out, isn't it? Because you've got Capaldi, Smith, Tennant, Eccleston, War Doctor, Baker, McGann, Pertwee, Silver. It's like
you
80s.
You cut out
80s
Peter
and 90s.
Davidson, which I think is
yeah.
quite vindictive of you. To refuse Peter Davidson a chance to be on this.
Fuck him, because he. But I was thinking, we've got all the doctors here. It's a good, effective point of like.
Oh, all of them apart from Peter Davidson.
Well, yeah. Well, I just know
you've only got
like
half of Colin Baker.
Yeah, well.
Just an eye. Just his
Sorry,
one eye.
I made this. It took me ages. Okay,
Well,
I tried my best. I tried my hardest. I'm sorry, all right? I can tell you've been disappointed by the presentation.
I have not.
No, I can tell. I've seen
have
it.
not
No,
been.
you have been.
That's
I've
just
seen
your insecurity.
I made
I've been-
this. It took me a long time, and I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry it's not up to the standard you wanted it to. I'm sorry. If you want me to leave NitPix, I can stop working for you, man. Like, it's cool. Like, I
Don't work
understand.
for me. I'm not
I can
your-
stop working with you, okay? I can stop working with you. We'll
Go
stop
independent.
I'll go independent. I'll just run DikPix on my own.
Go on then.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode.
What colour is Christopher Eccleston's jacket?
Hello and welcome.
Some say I like brown. Others say black.
Hello and welcome to me drinking an entire bottle of wine on my own.
And then
With a
on
new
NitPix,
video.
I'll be drinking bleach.
So if you had to have, we had this conversation before, but if you could only have one Doctor Who run,
What, one Doctor?
one Doctor run, you could only have one run of Doctor Who.
Like one season?
No, one Doctor sort of period of time.
Probably Smith.
Yeah.
Smith has the largest range of Doctor Who shit that I like.
Capaldi has Heaven Sent.
I know, and that is fun, but that's
But
not
Smith
like
has the-
that's not like a thing that's unique to Doctor Who. It's very different for Doctor Who Heaven Sent.
I would probably, I'd probably take Eccleston's out of the ones I'm familiar with.
Oh yeah, true.
But if I was making the decision now, if I could retain my memory of the episodes, I'd ask for Baker's run
Oh yeah.
because he's got the longest.
That's
run,
true,
and
he does
I haven't seen all his episodes either.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
So if it was in context now, but if it was just about what was the one I preferred the most or the one I thought was the best, Eccleston's very complete. It's one season, but then I get less Doctor Who. That's the problem with that.
Yeah, next in terms of Doctor Who content, this is probably it for a while.
Yeah.
But we could do a little one on the Doctor Who movie, maybe.
So we've been playing around with potentially doing classic Doctor Who stuff. We might not.
Max refuses to watch season 3 of Torchwood, so
I'll watch season 3 of Torchwood.
no, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
You hate Torchwood.
I don't hate it.
You can't sit through it.
It's just.
You just get bored and go on your phone.
It's just very Buffy.
Yeah, you can't deal with it.
It's not my. But I can.
So
commit.
I could do a slideshow where I show you it.
Yeah,
So it's
maybe
like
Torchwood.
watching it.
I do like the idea
I'm
of
just
doing
acting it out.
I do like the idea of doing some classic seasons.
Yeah. So
Because
maybe
we could talk about individual serials
Yeah.
and how they work.
there's
and what they're like.
no promises, but
No promises, but we
let
do
us
love
know.
Doctor Who.
Let us know
so-
what kind of content you want on DikPix.
Yeah.
'cause this second channel's growing quite a bit now, and we really like it.
We love
Yeah.
doing second channel content. It's fun and chill. It's nice to communicate with you guys. If you just have ideas for videos that you'd like us to do, just let us know, and we might give them a go.
Yeah.
And check out our podcast, which is just fresh out.
Bleeding on the page.
And also let us know what you think of it. Comment on the iTunes stuff.
yeah, do a
comment and
review because it helps.
Sorry, we tape our mic because
We're professionals.
we're professionals. But that would be sick. And yeah, if you want any types of videos, reviews, chatty stuff, maybe memes.
Maybe we could do meme
We
reactions.
could do meme reactions.
We could do live streams.
We could do live streams. We could do what else could we do? We could do more
that's
fucking.
That's all we can do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And also do check out our merch. We are including stickers
Yeah, we've got stickers.
And a short story.
We've written a short story.
And yeah, so if you order merch, you get a sticker and you get a
little
short
extra
story.
bits, yeah.
So yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed watching us talk for probably 10 hours.
Probably, as
Doctor
usual.
Who.
And yeah,
We're done with New Who now.
But this has been a really fun session for us doing Doctor Who so intently, and it's been fun doing this.
For being so responsive to it as well.
Yeah.
We weren't expecting you guys to
No,
eat it up
we
as much.
we really didn't think anyone would watch these, and the fact that you have surprised us and
in a good way.
Yeah, it made us feel good as well. It was like a nice thing. So, anything else you want, just let us know. We're always going for doing shit. So, and
Bye.
other things coming your way.
Bye.
Love you, Darren.
Bye.